Man must have his coffee, I gotta say. Anyway, I want to welcome everybody to After Dark with HB3. Got a lot to talk about tonight. My notes from AEW's recent pay-per-view. I know you can't see them real clear. And if you could see them, you wouldn't be able to read the chicken scratch on them any damn way because I can barely read it myself. Anyhow, AEW had their All Out pay-per-view event from Chicago, Illinois on Sunday, and we never have talked about it here on Pro Wrestling 247 yet. But tonight on After Dark with HB3, we will be talking about it. My thoughts, my opinions. Where do I think everything goes from here? And why do I believe that that's the direction things will take? And then later on, I got a little thing I want to talk about. I want to talk about a gentleman by the name of Sami Zayn. El Generico. Call him what you want, but call him a professional wrestler. Got a lot of things going on in the world today. It's that old song, making your way in the world today takes everything you got. The old Cheers song there. It's true. It's true. And sometimes in life we need to have a comfort we can turn to, something we can look at, and we can feel comfortable with, like it belongs in our life. Unlike WWE, which doesn't really belong in anyone's life at this moment in time because it means World Wrestling Entertainment. And that's what they do. They try to entertain us. They present us with Hollywood storylines, scripted, and they have actors go out and portray characters that portray a professional wrestler, who is portraying a character. They are not professional wrestlers who are presenting a persona that they have developed. That's why Stone Cold worked, because it was Stone Cold. This is why the Road Warriors worked, because that was who those dudes were. That's why Dusty worked, and Flair worked, and Wyndham worked, and Race worked, and Thez worked, and Bryce San Martino worked. That's why they knew professional wrestling. They weren't sports entertainers. They were professional wrestlers. And AEW on Sunday night proved to the world that they mean business in the world of professional wrestling. However, sports entertainment, not so much. And you know how I know that? Because of the promos and the things that have been said by men like CM Punk, who is all elite. Ruby Soho, who is all elite. Adam Cole, baby, is all elite. And we all knew it. It was going to happen, but why? Why? Daniel Bryan, now known as Bryan Danielson, his real name, is all elite. And Bryan had some things to say about why he was there at that company. Look at his face when you rewatch the replay, when you watch the YouTube video over at the AEW channel. Go subscribe. When you get there, understand that he came there for a few things. One was the fans, number one. And he was right. On that show, on that night, those fans were into every match there. Those fans gave that event a WrestleMania feel. Honest to God, that's the only place on the planet that show should ever be aired from. It is the perfect venue to put on a stellar card. And by stellar, I mean this card makes some WrestleManias look like crap. That's how good it was. And I'm not saying everything on the card was great, because it wasn't. It had hits and it had misses, but mostly it had hits. They unloaded a clip. They shot and they hit a bullseye with a lot of things tonight. And I'm sorry about that. They drew back an arrow, however you would like to say it. They hit a bullseye tonight. Threw a dart and hit that bullseye. It's interesting. It's very interesting how money can make a man forget where he came from. And I'm talking to you, Mr. Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Paul Levesque, Stephanie McMahon Levesque. I'm talking to all of you. Your family knew professional wrestling. Your grandpa, McMahon, your father, knew professional wrestling, and you knew it. And somewhere along the line, and I think it was the day you went public with the stock, as Nick would like to say, and I believe that to be true, WWE has lost its luster. The wrestling is gone. Now it's just a scripted Monday, Friday night scripted television. I'm not going to say NXT yet, because I think NXT still does good work. So I'm not going to totally disrespect the product being put forth by the family, but NXT isn't being run by Vince and by Pritchard and by the other people, Khan. And maybe Vince, being a professional wrestler, should mean something to you. Why not just let Triple H take NXT to a new level? Break it off as its own company and let it go. Let them make with that what they can, because what they're doing is great work. Keep your hands out of it. Too many chefs. Keep your hands out of it. Anyhow, what happened was the show opens with Miro defending his championship in a great match against Eddie Kingston. So, yeah, that happened. That was a great match. The women's title match was all right. Not the best, but all right. Ruby Soho being the Joker, that was sweet. I mean, expected, but sweet. And it was done right. I truly feel, though, and I really, really think that Thunder Rosa should have went over. I think Soho should have to work her way up to a match with Thunder Rosa and the two women for a number one contendership or something. That would be awesome to see those two work together. But they've jump-started her into a title shot with the winning of the Casino Battle Royal, and we've always griped about WWE doing stuff like that. So we gotta make a point when AEW does it, right? Let's be fair. We got to be unbiased here in our reporting and our analysis of the product we're dealing with, correct? This is how journalism works. Anyway, we had a lot of good stuff go down here, besides the big appearances of Minoru Suzuki showed up. Forbidden Door has been opened in a big way, by the way. Listen, folks, just check. Listen. You got to understand, folks, that I'm finagling with audio software so that my audio comes out of the proper place that I would like it to on my computer system. Well, that's not working anyway. Minoru Suzuki shows up. He's gonna take on Moxley tonight, Wednesday night, on AEW Dynamite from Cincinnati, Ohio. So big deal. Great pay-per-view quality match for the main event, and promoted from Sunday night. So they've done a good job of getting people to know that this is what's happening here. This is a cool show too. They had a MJF cut the city up. He classic MJF stuff. So respect MJF, respecting man, up and respect the man, because that's who he is. He's the next man. We had Ruby Soho show up. We had, of all people, nobody. Adam Cole, the hottest free agent in professional wrestling. Adam Cole. No, I'm not cutting off the next appearance, the next guy that showed up in any way, shape, or form. But Adam Cole was a legit free agent. They messed up. They had no idea that his contract expired 6 months before it did. He signed an extension because he was working a program that he wanted to finish before he tied loose ends there. And so once everything happened, you got to understand, folks, Adam Cole was a member of the Bullet Club. Okay, they killed him off. That's why do you remember what you did to me last time? Yeah, they killed him. They even did a Being the Elite segment on YouTube, on their YouTube channel, where they tried it. Kenny had a seance, and they were trying to bring Adam Cole back. Baby, you have to go check that out and watch that. It's pretty entertaining, folks. You may not like it, but sometimes some of the stupid stuff these guys do behind the scenes to build stories is fun. And that's what this is. AEW is a promotion where men and women can go and have fun. They can enjoy themselves. Everybody you hear talk is saying how great that locker room is. In other words, kayfabe stands. These guys are working the way wrestlers work. They're being human and people with each other. They're respecting each other. They're not building. What CM Punk is doing is humbling for a man of his stature in the world of professional wrestling. And some people don't understand. You see, the match he had with Darby Allin was a 5-star match. Sorry, it was a damn fine match. And for his return, yeah, he showed a little bit of ring rust. But all in all, with that 7.5-year hiatus, CM Punk came back looking decent as hell. He can go. It's going to take him some time to get rid of that ring rust, a couple more matches. But you're not going to use a CM Punk every day. You know why? Because you got to build story. There's got to be a reason for someone like CM Punk or Daniel Bryan to fight. These are legends. They get to pick and choose their shots with whom they want to talk. These guys, Daniel Bryan brought the Yes movement with him. See, that's the whole thing. The woo chop, that's always Ric Flair. And for eternity, for the entire rest of the existence of the known universe, the Yes movement, the Yes chant will always be Daniel Bryan. We'll always call the what? That's a Stone Cold. What? Okay? So we have all these things that go on. We have a stellar card. We have a great match with Punk and Darby Allin. And one of the things, Nick and I kind of watched some of that match together. And Nick did not like, he wanted a brutal assault from Punk onto Darby. But why? Because he's a violent sort of human being. That's why we hate him. And it was disheartening and disgusting when he said that, because what we got was so much better. We got professional wrestling. We got a code of honor. We got Sting giving his respect to a man like CM Punk, who is not all that unlike Sting. You see, Sting bucked the system back in the day by signing with TNA. He went to the TNA promotion. He worked for Impact. But WWE would never recognize that for 17 years. He was up in the rafters lurking, as far as they will ever tell you. But we know what happened. We know where Sting was, and we know his contribution after WCW to the sport that is professional wrestling. Comes over and he shows his respect. He sticks out his hand to shake CM Punk's hand. And Nick's asking, why would you shake his hand? Why? Because it's respect. Because it's a legend showing a man who is living legend now his respect. You still got it. You can go. I'm impressed. Because Sting knows what Darby's capable of. And Darby Allin comes out better for everything. Better. And Punk even did this whole thing. There was something happened. I think it was like a miss or something like that. But Darby flew out of the ring after a GTS. And I think that might have been supposed to have been a pinning, a spot where they try and go for a pin and he kicks out. Well, Darby probably legit got knocked out from the GTS. And the ref starts counting. And Punk doesn't want a count-out victory over Darby. He wants to either submit or pin. And I respect the hell out of that. So the ref, he just kind of at one point looks at the ref and he goes back into the corner and commentary is saying something along the lines of, maybe he just said, the heck with it, he'll take the win. But that's not CM Punk. That's not how you work a man like CM Punk. You let him go out there and fight because that's what he does. He's a professional wrestler. He knows how to work a match. So Punk just took a powder in the corner and waited for Darby to come in. And when he came in, Darby proved to Punk how tough a SOB he really is. Okay, so they earned respect for Darby from CM Punk. And Sting shook his hand, and Punk went over and tried to help Darby up, and Darby brushed him off. Sting picked him up, put him to his feet. And Punk shook Darby's hand. That's honor. I respect you. I came in here and I challenged you of all people here because I know how tough you are and I want to see how tough I am on that night that I return. I want to see how tough I am. So I want you. And he got Darby. And they put on one hell of a match. Awesome match. I cannot say how good CM Punk looked in this match. I cannot tell you how great Darby Allin looked in this match. I cannot tell you how proud I am of this company for having the mentor, Sting, stay in the back. So there would be no doubt who wins this match. No interference, no shenanigans, no Punk getting in Sting's face, no Sting getting in Punk's face. None of that. None of that. A lot of things happened in the world of professional wrestling. The world has changed, folks. The world has changed. And I'm going to tell you what. I think it's changed for the better. Welcome to the 1980s, ladies and gentlemen, when professional wrestling can be looked at as something that was possibly real. When the men and the women who were working the matches actually came up with how everything should go. It's their story. Let them write it. They know what they're doing. They know how to talk. They know how to incite a peaceful riot. And that's what you're supposed to do as a professional wrestler. When you incite a riot where they throw things in the ring at you, like MJF is going to do one night, I promise you, they will start throwing things at MJF sometime. He's that damn good. That's why. And you know it. He's better than everyone. And they know it. He just is. I'm sorry. But, oh my God. They had MJF, Chris Jericho. There's a lot on the line here. If Jericho loses, he's gone. He's done with in-ring action in AEW wrestling. Now, if Jericho sticks around, well, he can do commentating and go off and do Fozzy, kayfabe worked his ass off, which he did work his ass off in this match with MJF. They both did, and they both looked great. And I'm telling you what, the right thing happened. They worked it beautifully. They worked it absolutely beautifully because MJF got a pinfall victory over Jericho, but at the count of 2, Jericho's foot was on the rope and the ref didn't catch it. But so instead of letting it stand like that, and this makes logical sense in the world of pro wrestling. Here's the guy whose career is on the line, and there was a thing where that 3 count, his foot was on the rope long before the 3 count hit. He was at 2 here when the rope went, and then he went. You get that? It's 1, 3. He was at 2 when his foot hit the rope. Didn't see it. Another ref runs out from the back. Hey, dude, guess what? Jericho's foot was on the rope, man. Yeah, Tony sent me out to tell you, man. That ain't going down like that, man. This is his career in the ring. No, it can't happen like that. You got to fix this. You've already made MJF the win. No, you got to fix it. You got to fix it. Tell the announcer to restart this match now. Restart it. So they do. And Jericho ends up winning. And it's beautiful. It was a great story. It came to an end. Jericho finally got a win over MJF. And that's what was most important to him, is that he could beat him. It was a beautiful match, and it was booked right. Those two did a great job. MJF really is going to be the top heel in the world of professional wrestling, especially in the world of AEW wrestling here in the next year or two, if not sooner. I mean, by 2022, he had better be in a title picture because he is that damn good. And I think we're going to see a lot of things out of AEW. I think we're getting ready to get trios titles there, and that would be pretty sweet. Let's see how that works, because then you got some luchador action you could throw in there, and other people you could bring in from around the world, and to build a division. And they don't have to work exclusively at AEW. See, that's the beauty of everything that AEW does, is these guys are under contract to AEW, but if Daniel Bryan wants to go to Hoboken, New Jersey and work for a small indie fed because the guy who owns it is his best buddy, well, then he can go to Hoboken, New Jersey and work that show if he wants. It's up to him. And Khan isn't worried about taking a cut out of what they're making on the side. Okay, they're getting a paycheck to do a show. That's important. They feel like human beings. The Khan family is treating this company like the color gold, because it is gold. Everything harkens back to the 1980s. The movement of talent that just happened. These are heavy hitters in the business, folks. These are heavy hitters here. These are game changers, maybe, but heavy hitters, definitely. Went to Facebook group, opened it up. Disney Plus is open. I had it pulled up here. Let me go here. I got to... that is not what I'm looking for. Oop. Okay. Go here. There we go. I'm in the wrong. I have these stupid things. I don't want to do that. So let me go here. And let me go into the group. Oh, what's it? Messenger. Yeah. Hate that app. Let me go over here to the group real quick. I'll find this post. Hopefully I will. Anyway, Shockey made a comment. Shockey had something to say about the pay-per-view. And I kind of agree with him. Let me group post. I can't believe this. I hate this app. I hate Facebook, folks. Facebook sucks. It's horrible. Facebook is what's causing all the trouble on the planet. Everybody has their opinion about everything. We all think we're right. And pretty much feel like we got the work to be able to tell the world however we want to tell the world that we're right. Okay, I don't know if I'm right on anything or not. I don't give a damn about social media. It's all a bunch of idiots anyway. Look at the neighborhood you live in. Look at the world around you when you go do your day-to-day life. Watch the people. See how they act and react and interact with each other. Then make logical decisions and choices in life on who you want to be and who you are and how you want to treat people. Because the Khan family have been treating these guys pretty good. I don't think that what's going on right now is going to change the world of sports entertainment. But I would like to tell you here and now that it has changed the face of professional wrestling. AEW is a place where a guy like Christian Cage, who is the Impact World Champion, can go and be in the main event of the biggest, well, CM Punk's return was the main event, but be in the main event at the biggest event this company holds. That's a feather in his cap. To have a match like he had with Kenny Omega, which was brutal. There was a lot of hard way went down. There was some hard way there, folks. You got to see that match. There was a lot of pain delved out in that match. And it was a damn fine match. Omega stood tall at the end of the night. And brought in then that, led into Adam Cole showing up, baby. Super kick Jungle Boy. That was funny. That was real funny. I love that bit. That was so good. Thank you, Adam Cole. You made me laugh, man. Appreciate you. That was just funny. He super kicked Jungle Boy out of nowhere. I knew it was going to happen. I was like, oh, no, he's not there for them. I know his history. He looked at Kenny. He said, you remember what you did to me last time? Well, last time they killed him. They killed him off. And then he went to WWE or what have you, but they killed him off. So, yeah, that's pretty good. That's entertaining stuff right there, okay? And it's real life. They picked up that. They chose that night to bring back Adam Cole, who was a dead man according to lore. So this is fun. This is interesting. And the fact that he sided with the Elite is nothing that anyone should have been surprised about. Nothing at all. But then, well, he said anybody. What did Omega say? I've already beaten them. They're in bed, or they're dead. That was pretty funny. But Jim Ross was just right on point the whole night. He was on target, and he made the right comments at the right time to make you laugh about what was going on in there sometimes. But everybody on their announce team is just great. They're great talent on the mic there on the announce team. It's Daniel Bryan coming out was something very special. And for somebody who loves professional wrestling, it means a lot. Because Daniel Bryan has been held back by that company that he used to love to work for. And as he put it, but he still left. And there's other people there who feel the same way, that want to be professional wrestlers. I'm going to be talking about one of them in a minute. Because I think he is a professional wrestler. Now, this person and I don't see eye to eye on politics and other things. But then again, that was a while back and I was a different person and my thoughts have changed on certain issues. And I'm going to talk about Mr. Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn, who should be in AEW, because he is what AEW is, professional wrestling. Welcome to the 80s, folks, because we're going to start getting matches, big matches, with some of the most creative minds in the world of professional wrestling. You know who they are? The wrestlers. the men and the women that go out there and they're the character you see on TV. That's their persona. They developed it. They know who it is and what it is, and they know how to work it or where they want to take their character. If they want to take it into a direction, and they work for a company that's going to allow them to take the levity to make that move in a different direction if they want to. And that's important. That's important to a performer, to a professional wrestler, most of all, because they're athletes. They are athletes. Sorry. And there's a company out there that wants men and women like that. They don't care about your politics. They don't care about too much other than making a great company for professional wrestlers to come to and work and make a name for themselves. And even though it may have an indie feel to some people, how else are these boys supposed to cut their teeth? How are they supposed to get to the point like Sean Waltham, the 1, 2, 3 kid did when he first appeared? If it weren't for Shawn Michaels kicking Marty Jannetty through a barbershop window, history would have been a lot different. If it weren't for CM Punk sitting on a stage in WWE and dropping one of the biggest pipe bombs, the original pipe bomb, on everybody. Hi, Colt. You see, we don't stop and think about things like that sometimes. Colt Cabana's there. CM Punk and Colt Cabana got history. So there's some history that could be worked on through time. There's a lot going on in the world of professional wrestling. At the core are Daniel Bryan, CM Punk, Ruby Riott, and who can forget Adam Cole, baby? Professional wrestling is back. The promotion's called AEW. And that's right. I said not the company. The promotion is called All Elite Wrestling. Not World Wrestling Entertainment. So let's move on. Because I want to talk about somebody. I want to talk about Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn is a man who created a character years ago. Now, it seems so long ago now. El Generico, man. Just entertaining. Came from his brain. But I was watching a YouTube channel. It's called Tap Out Corner. And they had this little piece on Sami Zayn where there was a segment on Monday night on Raw where they had this segment, Electric Chair. They were the audience, open mic. Audience can ask questions of the talent. So people come out and they ask Zayn the most vanilla questions on the planet. And at one point, Sami says something like, what did Sami say? Oh, you could ask me. He basically told him this is stupid and boring. Okay, in a professional manner, stupid and boring is, Sami Zayn. So, and he's a heel, so go for it. But he said you could have asked me about anything. What about AEW? And it got a reaction. And so there was an interview Sami did. And during that interview, let me see if I got the name of where that's from, because I don't want to misquote myself here for this here. I can't really think of where it was now. But it's in the Tap Out Corner piece. But Sami says that he went out there and it fell flat. It was lame. It was stupid. They're asking silly questions, dumb questions of a professional. If you have an open mic, ask something serious, not something no. So Sami brought it up. Because that's something that a true professional wrestler knows how to do. They know how to flip the script and make it work if it needs to be done. And on that night, it needed to be done, so Sammy did it. And after watching that, I came away with a few thoughts. It got me thinking, is what it did. It got me thinking. Let me get my coffee. We're going to talk. I'm gonna relax here. Let's do this. I'm going to relax. I'm going to have a cigarette. And I don't care if anyone likes me smoking on air or not. I don't care. It's my life. They're my lungs. If I die, I die. Bury me in a oak box underneath an oak tree and let me be. I will be fine with whatever comes after this. I don't know if WWE will be, but Sami Zayn will be. And I want to tell you why. Because Sami Zayn, first and foremost, is a wrestler. Watch him in the ring. Watch the nuances of his characters. Okay? Sami Zayn has taken the crap given to Sami Zayn and made it work. That's a professional wrestler. They've given Kevin Owens one gimmick, but they haven't worked that gimmick. So why bother? Again, another man who probably would... He's a pro wrestler. Kevin Steen is a pro wrestler. Sami Zayn is a pro wrestler. And there's a few other people in this company that are pro wrestlers, not sports entertainers. Big difference. Big difference. John Cena was a sports entertainer. The Rock, sports entertainer. Austin, professional wrestler. We already know about the Rhodes Boys. Those are professional wrestlers. I think there's other people, other men and women in that company that are actually professional wrestlers and not so much sports entertainers. But Sami Zayn is a guy who this company has really misused in a lot of ways. He's been saddled with stupid feuds recently. They're not using him to his potential. This new gimmick he has of the conspiracy theory guy that works for Sami Zayn. I think that character is awesome. And Sami Zayn himself is awesome. It's what they have him do sometimes and how they pair him with people for reasons that aren't needed. This is a man who has worked himself. El Generico. He's been in the business for over a decade. Quite a long time. He's a seasoned journeyman. He's good at what he does. And to be honest with you, I love to hate him. He's a great heel. But I like this character. And that's the thing. They're going to botch it. They always do. Let Sammy run with this. Don't get involved with it, Hollywood. Let him be who he is. Let him develop his persona. And Sammy, my word don't mean nothing to you. I understand that. But what I do want to ask you, sir, is that when your time comes up for your contract, I want you to stop and I want you to think. I want you to think. You're Sami Zayn. You're one of the most brilliant minds in the world of professional wrestling. You can work a match. You can work a mic. You have an interesting persona. Please sign with the right company. The company that's going to allow Sami Zayn to be Sami Zayn and not holding back with scripted promos and stupid storylines because it fits the mold of the world's largest sports entertainment company. Sami Zayn, man, I have mad respect for you. This man, Sami Zayn, is of Syrian origin, and he's very proud of the fact that he is Syrian. And he has done something that's just amazing. Sammy has a children's charity out there that helps medical needs for children in war-torn Syria, which it's a war-torn nation, folks. It's been ravaged by war for a long time now. So what goes on in the world, man? What goes on in the world? People are not nice to each other, and I don't understand why. I'd rather watch guys on TV beat each other up than see real humans doing that to each other, because I can't fathom why. Be kind to each other, people. Love, understand, and respect each other, people. I also have to give an apology because I'm blocked by Sami Zayn on Twitter. And it's because I made a comment years ago. It was a difference. It was a political difference. And I would like to apologize to him right now, because what I said was not, it was rude. I basically go back to wherever, and I shouldn't have said that. And I know I shouldn't have said that, but I'm a different person. I look at the world in a different way now, because I see everything that's going on around me. Besides the world of pro wrestling, there's more to life than that. And the world's ravaged by wars, and uncertainties reign everyday life because of what's been going on. We've been held under lock and key for a year because of a virus that's spread around the globe. And just things aren't good for everybody. And Sammy has used his money, his time, and his talent, and his notoriety to promote a children's charity. I respect that. That is an admirable thing, sir. Very admirable. I think he deserves better. I think Sami Zayn deserves to work for a company where the owners will let you be a professional wrestler. You get to be yourself. You get to have that time you need to do those things that make you whole as a human being. Whether it's your family or your career outside of the world of pro wrestling, is like with the Rhodes. We have, what was it? They had them reading at the pay-per-view. There's going to be a sort of like a Ms. and Mrs. about Cody and Brandy, so that's going to be entertaining. Going to be fun. But I want to see Sami Zayn work in the company like that, because I want to see. I knew where he was when he went to NXT, and it was an exciting time for everybody because he's Sami Zayn, and we know how good El Generico is. We know it. And he would fit in so well in AEW. The matches that could be had between him and 3/4 of the roster are going to be spectacular. Sami Zayn is a professional wrestler. He's not a sports entertainer. Kevin Steen, he's not a sports entertainer. Antonio Cesaro, he's not a sports entertainer. Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, they're not sports entertainers. These men made their mark in ROH. ROH is professional wrestling, not sports entertainment. Impact is actually professional wrestling, not sports entertainment. The National Wrestling Alliance, it's in the name of the brand, is not sports entertainment. It is sports and entertainment. They are mutually exclusive of each other in that pretext. A man like Sami Zayn could prosper in an environment like that. A man like Kevin Steen, Antonio Cesaro. Oh my God, Bo Dallas. Where's he at? Let's see what happens What happened Sunday night changed the world of professional wrestling, not of sports entertainment. If you like the WWE, more power to you. I give you my blessing to watch the programming. I don't have to. I take that back. I actually have to be abreast of what's going on in the world of professional sports, combat sports, because professional wrestling and sports entertainment are similar but not the same. And you'll see what I mean in the next year. Because I promise you that All Out next year is going to go all out. And they're going to make what happened Sunday night pale in comparison to what they do next. Tony Khan, thank you for bringing professional wrestling back to the men and the women who love professional wrestling. Daniel Bryan, thank you for making the move, for making that decision that you moving, taking your act on the road, taking Bryan Danielson to AEW means a lot to professional wrestling fans. And it means a lot in the fact that now that company, they got a pop with CM Punk in media. You being there, Adam Cole, Ruby Riott, opening that forbidden door, doing all that. Doing all that. It was all that. They went all out and they succeeded. Every time they've shot, they've hit the mark. Welcome to the 1980s. Welcome back to the real world of professional wrestling. And welcome to a new era in professional wrestling. I'm Harry the Boobs Bob. This is After Dark with HB3. That's me. But I got to go now. I've said my piece. I'll see you next Wednesday night, 10 p.m. on the West Coast. It's almost 2 o'clock here where I am. But I'll talk to you guys later. Peace. Be kind to each other. Love one another. And be happy.